I'm Jeff Kent. I'm the president of the Healthcare Institute. My paying job, I'm the managing director of corporate facilities for enterprise-wide Nemours Foundation. Nemours Foundation is a children's health care network, and we're located with hospitals and clinics in 5 states in the United States. Walt?
My name is Walt Vernon. Thank you for having us here. In my day job, I run an organization called Mazzetti. We are a primarily U.S.-based engineering and technology consulting firm. We do have an office in India. I also have a nonprofit foundation that does development work in health facilities around the world. And then I'm the vice president of the HCI, and I work with Jeff in particular to focus on our international efforts.
Thanks, Walt. HCI is a rapidly growing non-for-profit organization dedicated to filling the need for education for healthcare system administrators, facility managers, healthcare executives, and related professionals from the real estate, the design community, the engineering community, and also providers of materials and furniture and equipment that's used in healthcare. Our mission is to enhance the skills and unite professionals within the healthcare built environment. Founded in 2012, the Institute has rapidly expanded to a membership of over 650 members and continues to grow at a rate of about 40% a year. Our 2025 master plan is looking at a very achievable rate of growing 3 chapters a year and having 20 to 25 chapters by 2025 with a membership base of around 1,500 to 1,600 members. Currently, we have 7 chapters, including North Texas, HCI Midwest, HCI Chicago, HCI Orlando, HCI Southern California, and Northern California and Seattle are on their way to being launched in 2019. As of October of 2016, as of October of 2014, HCI has been a member of the IFHE organization, and in 2016, Walt Vernon was appointed to the IFHE Executive Committee, and HCI has worked for those years, and we look to have a long relationship with the IFHE in blending our organization and their organization together to service healthcare providers across the world. Walt?
Thank you, Jeff. So Jeff and I wanted to spend a few minutes today talking a little bit about the role of facility management in the healthcare system and the importance of that from our 2 different perspectives. Now, Jeff is a real healthcare facility manager, so he has a different perspective than I do. I am only a consultant to the industry, but as a consultant, one of the things that I experience is I work with a lot of different facility managers around the country. And so I'm able to really understand from an outside perspective in some ways. I'm a little bit maybe like an art critic, and that I'm not an artist, but I can appreciate the art that great facility managers bring to their job. And it really does make a substantial difference, I believe, in the healthcare environment. As a design professional, we spend a lot of time and energy and effort really thinking about how to provide the best possible systems, the best possible buildings, and systems that are capable of providing tremendous value. But I often feel like we're participants in a relay race, And while I might be the first stage, I need to hand the baton to the facility manager who can then really run to the finish line and make the facility work. I think some of the ways that facility managers influence healthcare, obviously, maybe trivially first, is on the expense side of things. You guys are responsible for a fair amount of expense with respect to healthcare delivery. And effective facility managers are able to really make their buildings work exceptionally well. They're able to keep their costs low and really invest in efficient operations, both of their systems, but maybe even more important, of their people, and helping their people to deliver effective healthcare environments. I remember at one point I was doing a research study around operating theaters, and I spent some time in an operating theater. This was early in my life, and I decided I wanted to be a doctor. The problem was I couldn't study chemistry, so I couldn't be a doctor. I can't be a healer, but I do feel like what I can be is a little bit like a person who creates the stage on which doctors are able to perform their medicine. And without me, they couldn't do their job. And without you, the health facility managers of Brazil, your healers can't do their job. I do believe there's a heavy influence from facility management in particular, not just in, managing expense, but really in making the facility do its job. Everything from infection prevention to how the equipment works, to the ability of the environment for healing, the ability of the environment to support the caregivers as they try to deliver effective health care to the patients, effective navigation of the many, many, many people, whether it's visitors and family or vendors and support personnel, to make sure that the buildings work. All of that is the responsibility of the healthcare facility management staff. And again, as a critic, in a way, you might say, of the health facilities management, when I see a facilities management staff that really knows how to do its job and really does it well, they are able to create a place of magic where healing can occur for everybody. So I think it's a tremendously vital organization, a tremendously vital function. And, we're proud to be associated with it as HCI. Jeff, I don't know.
One thing I'd like to add, Walt, is my background is I've been told it's a little strange by some people that have hired me. I'm an architect by background. I probably spent a third of my life in working in high-end design and retail and high office and corporate facilities and healthcare, and a third in major developments of retail, healthcare, and corporate facilities. And then the other third of my career in healthcare. And so when we used to talk about the healthcare FMs as the people they're really running the plant and everything, but it's really the facility healthcare has changed so much. And we brought technology to hospitals at a rate that it never existed 10 years ago. And so the people that we have running our plants and involved with my staff, I have architects and planners that are very instrumental in working through the design of the buildings across our enterprise with our facility people and with our operational people. Because one of the things that I preach too much, but it's a truism, is that 20% of your life cycle cost of a building is your first-time capital. 80% of the cost to run the building is everything else. And so if we deliver a beautiful building that wins awards but is inefficient for our caregivers to deliver, or the facility team to be able to change motors and fans and belts, and then we've failed. And so HCI is really trying to bridge this whole new group of people, and I don't know how it is in Brazil. In the United States, we're pushing a lot of healthcare away from the main campus, so real estate healthcare development is on fire. And there's a huge amount of that going on. There's a huge amount of those people finding HCI and being part of that knowledge-based education. Because if we can build good teams around these kind of people, then the successes that we deliver the best healthcare and affordable healthcare at our institutions has a better chance of happening.
Yeah, I think that's well said, Jeff. One of the things that I thought we could talk about a little bit is the benefits of best practice sharing. And one of the things that HCI really tries to do is to facilitate what maybe peer-to-peer learning. The membership of an organization like HCI is able to bring so many different perspectives to the questions of healthcare facility management that it's a really powerful organization. And as Jeff says, healthcare facility management has really changed. I remember when I was a young engineer, right, the healthcare facility manager was only concerned about what went on in the hospital. And over time, the healthcare facility manager is now responsible for outpatient buildings and office buildings and laboratories and warehouses and data centers. And so the skill set, first of all, just in terms of the range of facilities, is much broader. But more important than that, it's no longer enough to just know how to deal with the technical issues of the job. More and more, to be successful, I think people in the facilities management business need to understand business. They need to understand finance and how that works. They need to really understand leadership and management to be able to be an effective leader in their organization. And they also need to be able to manage upward, because it's as much about the relationships of the facility management staff with the other people in the organization as it is a matter of technical skills. And that's one of the beauties in many ways of HCI, and our members, I think, experience this every day, that they're able to spend time with people who have complementary skill sets and really build on each other so that everybody comes away richer for the experience.
So much of the time that in our markets, a lot of times there's so much competition between health systems that I don't want to say people dislike each other, but they dislike each other's companies, and they tend not to attend organizational meetings together. And I've seen in HCI and hear about events across the country that actually people from all the healthcare systems are there and in an active engagement of education and networking. And that is where I think that's part of the true growth of what HCI is all about. And it's not about networking. Networking is part of it, but education, and someday we'll get back in doing some more research like we used to, but right now we're just building the structure of the organization. And so I want to thank you again for inviting us, and I want to congratulate the group that is together and spend, I don't know if it's a one-day event you're having. I hope it is really great. I wish we could be there in person, but one of the things I want to leave with, Lincoln has both Walt's and my email, phone numbers, and everything. And if there's anything, follow-up questions people have, feel free to reach out to us. And thank you for inviting us to participate.
Yes.